All right, you guys. All right, this is interesting. So. All right. So we start out with the Five of Cups over here, right? Loss, regret, despair, disappointment. Why? A tower, right? There has been some kind of tower over there in Iran, right? Loss, regret, despair, disappointment because of an implosion, right? I mean, there has been a complete and total implosion of Iran's financial system and situation because of the Strait of Hormuz and the oil and gas and all of that stuff, right? Right? Loss, regret, despair, disappointment, implosion, tower, crumbling of an economic situation, as you will see as we go through the rest of this reading, right? Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about passage, okay? It's about passage. It's literally a card about passage. And the Emperor in reverse, which I believe is representing Donald Trump in this reading, their perspective, Iran's perspective, right? Iran's perspective, right? Not my perspective, Iran's perspective, okay? That's why I'm a psychic medium. I'm just simply the tool by which things flow, okay? So, Donald Trump as the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in reverse is an out-of-control leader, okay? All right. So the out-of-control leader somehow caused the passage, right, to collapse with the tower and has caused a great deal of despair for Iran, okay? King of Swords. This is the deal right here, okay? King of Swords. They had to make a deal. They had to make some kind of a deal to judgment, right? Because it's what's good and right and proper for them. It is the decision that they have agreed to for the time being in order to stop the bleeding in some way. Okay, because whatever Trump did, however it shook down, I am not a big politics kind of person, but whatever he did and however it shook down brought some kind of relief to Iran in this situation. Nine of Pentacles in reverse, financial loss, the Hermit in reverse, withdrawal, isolation, okay? So what this is saying is that Iran is withdrawing from the fights in order to, Nine of Cups, have some kind of satisfaction in the situation, okay? They don't want to, but they have to. They don't want to agree to this, but they have to agree to this in order for there to be some kind of peace in their own world. Seven of Cups, options, choices, decisions, and the Death in reverse is internal transformation. What Death in reverse, the internal transformation, and the options, choices, and decisions of the Seven of Cups is saying is that they have agreed to this for the moment, but as soon as they get stable again, there will be hell to pay. An eye for an eye. Second row, first card, Temperance in reverse. This is about not being at peace. It's ill-tempered. It's not being at peace. And then the Six of Swords in reverse comes on top of this and talks about not being able to pass through. Okay, so somehow, some way, there is a situation in this deal that is restricting Iran in some way. It's restricting them, and they are not happy with it, but they are agreeing with it for the moment. The King of Wands in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. And we have the Queen of Wands in reverse over here. Okay? I got so many cards. The Queen of Wands in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, and the Ten of Cups in the center of the reading. Okay? This is representing to me the leaders of Iran that are signing this. Number one, or agreeing to this. Number one, it's extremely disgruntled energy. Extremely disgruntled. It's self-serving, egocentric energy because they have to. They have to agree to this to get the ships out of the strait, to get the United States to pull out, 10 of Cups, to bring some kind of overflow into their country. And as soon as that overflow happens and they have an internal transformation, right? The Tower, all hell's going to break loose. The Magician, they're manifesting it. They're creating a plan and they are manifesting a way to completely and totally sabotage and circumvent this agreement. And I'm going to tell you about it right now. Okay, I'm going to tell you about it. Okay. 10 of Cups to the 7 of Pentacles, making a plan, right? Just like the Magician, they're manifesting this. They knew this before they went into this agreement. They knew it before they went into the agreement. They did the agreement to stop the bleeding so they could internally transform and get back on their feet again, okay? They are making a plan, the Moon in reverse. And pretty soon, everyone will see exactly the brilliance. That's the energy that I get off this with the Magician right here, the brilliance of this plan, okay? The 5 of Pentacles in reverse. As soon as they come out of the cold financially, as soon as they recoup financially, the Fool in reverse. They are fooling the whole world right now. They're fooling at least Donald Trump. Okay? They think he's a fool. They think the whole thing is foolish, and they just can't wait to get back on top financially in their own infrastructure to be able to execute this plan that they are about to execute. I will tell you about the plan, okay? The Moon in reverse. Again, seeing very clearly. And the 6 of Wands. Victory, progress, and success. The whole world will see, realize, and acknowledge this mastermind plan that these guys are hatching to circumvent this deal right here. Yep. And I'm going to tell you about it. They tell us all about it right down here. Hold on. 8 of Cups. In the end, Iran is going to walk away from this deal. The Sun in reverse. But of course, nobody sees that. They're keeping that on the down low. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. They will not collaborate. They will not have teamwork. The 2 of Cups in reverse. They will not have a relationship that honors this agreement. To the 5 of Wands. Because it causes too much conflict. It causes, look, the world, it causes global conflict. If y'all don't know, now I say I'm not a big politics person, and I'm really not a big politics person, but I am a huge history person. I love history, and of course history is filled with politics, okay? So I keep my finger on the pulse of politics because it is creating history. If y'all don't know, if anybody's ever sitting around wondering, well, why the hell did Donald Trump start shit in the Hormuz anyway, right? Why did he even start shit? Well, he started it all because he's trying to save the American financial system. You see, all the other countries are aligning themselves with BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, okay? BRICS is taking the place of the SWIFT system. The SWIFT system is kind of like our banking system, our ATM system here. Actually, it's more like a gigantic Venmo, okay? Let's just call it that. The SWIFT system is like a gigantic Venmo, okay? Oil and gas is traded on the US dollar. The petrodollar is what keeps this country afloat. The trade of oil and gas, okay? The SWIFT system, just like Venmo, is the system where people pay. If I'm in a country and I want to buy oil and gas from another country, right? I use the SWIFT system, aka the Venmo system, right? I use the SWIFT system. I deposit all of my money in US dollar amounts into that, and then the other country extracts it. So we make a fee off of all of that as well, a transaction fee, right? Billions and billions and billions of dollars, probably every day, going through SWIFT, going through Venmo, right? Going through SWIFT keeps the United States economy, that is for the last 50 years, the root of our wealth, okay? We have no gold standard anymore in this country. It's the petrodollar. So all the other countries are getting together with Russia and China mostly, and they are creating their own Venmo called BRICS. BRICS is going to operate on blockchain currency, which completely and totally eliminates the US dollar. Iran being in charge of, in their own way, the Strait of Hormuz, right? They have control over who gets what and where. And they are a part of the BRICS, right? They've been trading oil outside of the SWIFT system. And this whole debauchery in the Strait of Hormuz is to stop that from happening. It is literally to stop the transformation of a new Venmo system for the whole world that cuts out the United States completely. That would be economic devastation for our country. Trump is insistent that it stay this way, that SWIFT stays the main Venmo machine for the world. And the rest of the world is like, you know what? We don't need you anymore, and we're going to do our own thing. So the whole bullshit in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz is because of the petrodollar and the United States economic system. Okay? All right. All of that to say the world to the Nine of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the world, and the Wheel of Fortune. Iran, in this reading, seems to believe that that is the absolute best way to go, to be able to buy, sell, and trade oil and gas with the rest of the world without Donald Trump or the SWIFT system involved with it. It's a turning point in global economy. The whole world literally wants this to happen. The only person that doesn't want this to happen is the United States and Donald Trump. Those are the only people that don't want this to happen. Politically, right? Politically, okay? Everybody else will benefit immensely by trading with blockchain instead of the US dollar, okay? All right? So they have a plan. They have a plan. I'm going to come back to this pocket of cards in just a second. So the plan that they are manifesting, the tower that is going to be executed, the crash of this, the ending of this deal, Iran's not going to do it. They're counting on, guess who? Donald Trump to do it. They are counting on Donald Trump to renege on this whole thing. Knight of Cups in reverse, renege on this whole thing. Ten of Swords, bring an ending to this whole thing. That's what they're counting on. And how are they going to do that? Well, they're going to do that by sabotaging him with the Ten of Swords. What they're going to do is they are going to cause in some way Donald Trump to break the deal himself. Okay? What they're going to do, I believe, from this tower and the magician and the whole vibe of this and just what I feel inside of myself, what they're going to do is there's going to be some kind of an attack on this country. And no one's going to know where it came from. No one's going to know where it came from. And it might not even be Iran who's doing it, but there's going to be some kind of internal attack on this country. And Trump is going to go full force, full fury against Iran. And that breaks the deal. And when that breaks the deal, in the meantime, all of this time that's passing, right? And I'll get a card here for a timeline. So in the meantime, all this time that's passing, while everybody's abiding by this deal right here, Iran is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and they're getting allies, and they're pushing this plan together, and they're getting together with all of the other world governments who want to cooperate in this whole situation. Not everybody, of course, but they're getting together with their bros in some way to all be able to come out and say, well, maybe we did it. No, maybe we did it. No, maybe we did it. We did it. Maybe we did it. Nobody's going to know exactly who did it, but everybody's going to know Iran did it, right? Even if they don't do it themselves. And that's why they were so gloating. They were gloating in this middle row right here, that all the world is going to see very clearly that in the end, Iran wins. An eye for an eye. Yep. They are going to count on Donald Trump to renege on this entire agreement by going full fury militarily on Iran when this internal attack in the United States happens. Yep. And when that happens, the deal is off the table. BRICS gets started, and I would have no doubt if they're in cahoots with Russia. Okay. When this happens and the deal disintegrates, the whole world is going to go into BRICS. Not only that, but the whole world is going to be hyper pissed off at Donald Trump for going full fury militarily on Iran. And by the time that happens, Iran is already going to have in place what it needs to have in place to keep the United States out of the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, they're whatever it is they're going to do, they're pretty crafty, actually. So they've been in existence for fucking ever, so they kind of sort of know how to fight, right? So in the meantime, they are going to be building the infrastructure that is going to keep the United States at bay when all of this shakes down. Interesting. Militarily, right? I don't know if it's planting bombs in the water or what, but they got something to keep, because the immediate thing is going to be whoosh, we're going to try to take over the Strait of Hormuz, right? And we're not going to be able to. And because of that, that's going to be all out holy hell that breaks loose. Okay. All of that leads to a turning point in the world. Literally, a turning point in the world. The Four of Pentacles, Iran says, not Dana, Iran says that it will bring stability and happiness to the globe when this happens. The Two of Swords, at a crossroads. Crossroads, crossroads, crossroads. What's that crossroads? Well, the Hangman, they're just waiting. They're just waiting for all of this to come together. Six of Cups and the Two of Cups, like I said, they're getting with their bros. They're making handshake deals. They're working things out behind the scenes for all of this to take place the way that it's going to take place. They are faking an agreement, Five of Pentacles, because they are financially crippled at the moment. Financially crippled at the moment. Six of Pentacles in reverse, but they're not about to share any of it with anybody. Chariot in reverse, Justice in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, the Tower in reverse. Tower reverse is rebuilding. We're going to withdraw. We're going to withdraw until we rebuild. It's a lie. Nobody sees what's going on. Justice in reverse, injustice, an eye for an eye. We will not just allow you to do this with no repercussions whatsoever. The Chariot in reverse, we can't do anything about it right now. The Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Pentacles, right? Because we're a little financially strapped at the moment in some way, somehow, some way, or we want to prevent being financially crippled in some way. Five of Wands and the Princess of Wands. Y'all just wait, though. Y'all just wait. You just wait, because we're putting in some effort to create some kind of conflict. Seven of Pentacles. We're making a plan. We're making a plan right now. We're making a plan. The Alchemist in reverse. We are manipulating this situation to our benefit to the fullest extent that we possibly can. And y'all just hold my beer and watch this, because it's going to shake down. It's going to shake down in a big way. Everybody's going to join BRICS. The United States is going to be completely financially devastated, and it's all going to be interesting, to say the least. To say the least, to say the least, to say the least. Perhaps this is, I put a video out called 3 Days of Darkness. Prepare for 3 days of darkness. Perhaps this is it. Perhaps whatever this attack is that is going to be done to the United States in order to get Donald Trump to renege on his deal with Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. Perhaps that is going to be the 3 days of darkness that I have been reading about, and other people have been reading about it too. Nevertheless, there you go. I hope that helped you to think in a different way. Namaste. Oh. Said I was going to pull a card. Let's do this. So Spirit, can you tell us when is the agreement going to be reneged? When is the agreement going to be reneged? All right. So what I got here is the King of Clubs, the Queen of Clubs, which is the King of Fire and the Queen of Fire. And then I have double nines in the center right here. The month 9, 9 weeks, the month 9, September. I'm gonna go with September. I want to point out, could be March, because that would be 9 months from now. But all of this adds up to a September kind of feel for me right here. And the King of Fire and the Queen of Fire, I wonder if this attack in some way does not involve fire. Interesting. Fire. Interesting. Anything else you need to say about any of this? 2 Pentacles. Yep. So I'm going to say September, as it stands, as it sits right here, right now, this very second. If everything continues to go the way that it is going, we are going to see, I think, some kind of fire attack in this country in September. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's not true. I hope this whole reading was just fairy dust. But I know my cards, and my cards tell the truth. Check out my book, The 21 Concepts of Awakening, a guided journey to expand your mind. If you are experiencing any kind of spiritual growth or awakening, this would be the book that's going to help you understand what's happening, where you're headed, and how to navigate it successfully.